All right, team, let's wrap this week up with the workout brief for Saturday the 16th. So after you've got in your 8-minute warm-up, just go for a jog for that 8 minutes and then hit some stretching that's detailed in the warm-up there. We're gonna head out for 5 by 800 meters. And we're gonna aim to do this at about 80% effort, okay? What that really means is that we're gonna try and hit a strong run, okay? Just shy of a sprint. This is probably gonna be about at or a little bit faster than our 1 mile pace, okay? If you know that off the top of your head. If you don't know off the top of the head, what we're aiming to do is just not be burst after each effort. However, we need the decent rest, okay, to repeat that effort, all right? So the rest is as needed. You can take as much rest in between each of those 5 by 800 meter efforts as you need, okay? I would say probably a maximum of 2 to 3 times the amount of time it took you to do that effort itself, okay? So if you hit a 2.5 minute 800 meter, then you're probably gonna wanna rest for somewhere in the 5 to 7.5 minute range after that effort. If you feel ready to go sooner than that, maybe push a little bit harder in your next 800 meters, okay? Easiest way to manage this is to take Google Maps, pick a landmark, and then measure 800 meters by right-clicking, saying measure distance, and get your 800 meters from there, and just run between those 2 landmarks. That is the absolute best way of doing it, from my experience, and then just use a stopwatch to get your times. Otherwise, if you've got a pretty accurate fitness tracker, you can go for that. I know with the Apple Watch, you can just say how many meters you want to run, and it'll tell you when you've run that, okay? However, over those shorter distances, not always the most accurate, and you might find some variance there. However, it's not the end of the world, okay? So aim for that good, strong run. You should be driving on that. It should be just a little bit slower than your 400 meter pace, but maybe just a little bit faster than your 1 mile pace, just to give you an indication, okay? Find a good safe route. I know it's thawed and got a little bit icy again, so watch out on those runs. The first piece of optional accessory work we've got for today is 40 dumbbell box step-ups, okay? I'm gonna leave this open in terms of how you wanna hold the dumbbell. You can put the dumbbell on your shoulder, you can hold it in the front rack, you can hold it like a suitcase. It is up to you, okay? You're gonna hold that dumbbell and you're gonna step up with one leg onto a box, step, or other elevated surface, okay? Somewhere in that sort of 16 to 24 inch height, all right? Once you've stepped up with that leg, you're gonna step down, keeping the weight on the same leg you stepped up with. So if you pushed up with your right leg, you're gonna keep your right leg on the box and lower back down. You're gonna swap legs, so you can do 20 on each leg alternating. The second piece of accessory work we've got for today is 10 sets of 10 V-ups with 1 minute rest in between each 10, okay? So if you wanna get a little bit more practice on your hip hinge gymnastically to try and contribute towards your toes to bar, this is an absolutely brilliant way of getting those. So work on your V-ups and work on getting into a good solid hinge. So from lying out, you're coming right up and tall, okay? Thinking about folding in half rather than reaching for your knees, okay? Reach right up to the sky. The third piece of optional accessory work for today is a new one. It is isometric deadlifts with a towel, okay? Now, I'm gonna pop the video for how to do these below the movement itself and be on the whiteboard. But essentially, these are pulling against an immovable object. You're gonna roll up that towel into one long sausage, put your feet on the midpoint of it, and then you're gonna hold on to either end, okay? You're essentially pulling against something that is heavier than your 1 rep max deadlift because it's just not gonna move, all right? So this allows us to try and train our 1 rep max strength without actually having any weights, okay? So check these out. You're gonna do 15-second pull, 15-second rest, okay? Have a little shot of these. They're a really, really good way of trying to keep your strength numbers up when you haven't got a load of weight available to you. Even those of you with barbells, you probably don't have enough weight to actually get that stimulus of a really heavy deadlift. So isometric pulls are an absolutely brilliant way of keeping this up. If you saw last week or the weekend, I posted the quarantine machine, which is essentially a slightly more robust way of doing isometrics, and you can do that for the squat as well, and the press and various different pulls. So check those out. All it really is a block of wood that you can stand on with some bolts in it or some screws and some bits of chain and a pipe. So it can be a really good way of getting in some top end strength. Once you finish that, we're just gonna foam roll, calves, hamstrings, quads, wherever needs it after all that running, okay? There's a fair bit of accessory work tomorrow, so if you wanna do 1 bit, 2 bit, or 3 bits, your choice, okay? Choose the ones that you think you need to work on, and you can also come back to some of them later in the week if you wanna swap them out for one of the other accessory work later on through the week. Have a good workout, guys, and we will see you tomorrow for the next brief.